Hi, wonderful fossil hunters and collectors. This is Chris, Fossil Hunting and Collecting with Chris, and I'm going to be leading a fossil trip. It's going to be a place that we've been to before, Schoharie, and we're taking about a lot of people, looks like about 50 or so people, to collect fossils in these quarries, because one of the things I do as a volunteer is I'm a field trip leader. We have permission to go into these quarries by one of the owners, who's been so generous, so good to us, letting us bring people in. When we go to the quarries, we have to wear these plastic hard hats. We have to wear these safety vests. It's for their insurance purposes. I also have one of these floppy sun hats, and they fit well underneath the hard hats, and they're really good. The back protects your neck from sunburn, so I really like these floppy hats. They help out very well. We're going to be wearing these sort of, I don't know what these are called, donkey skin, even though they're not. They're these kind of pseudo leather gloves that good for protecting hands. And one thing we don't need these stupid masks anymore, because COVID is finally ending, or pretty much over, so we're allowed to go there without the masks. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. One complication is it looks like it's going to rain, but I'm sure it's not going to stop. It might stop a few people, but most of us will still be out there in the rain collecting these fossils. So it's a bit of a drive. We're going to be heading upstate New York. It's into the Catskills. I'll put a little map up to show roughly where the place is. This is a place where you do actually need permission from the landowners, or you could join a club that's actually going there, and that would be how you get access to these places. I'm going to be showing a lot of different things that people find there. Hopefully there will be good finds. There always are, and I'll take you into that. So wishing good luck to the people on the fossil trip, and I hope you enjoy our field trip. Our first stop is going to be in the Cobleskill Quarry, located in Cobleskill, New York. This is a place that's closed to the public. We were given permission to go in on this particular day by the people who own the quarry, so it's not a public digging site, but we're very lucky to be able to get in this time with our club, and we're going to be looking for Devonian fossils. Now, these ones are actually going to be from a different time period. If you take a look at the geologic map, shows that we're covering a couple of different areas. Some of these fossil formations are from the Heidelberg group, and some are from a group just earlier than that. The site actually spans across a number of different formations, because as they dig down further in the quarry, they uncover more of these buried formations. So the map shows Heidelberg group and a couple of other things, but we're actually going to be digging down through a few different layers. So here's a little closer look at the Cobleskill Quarry. We're going to be seeing some of the Onondaga limestone. There's actually a couple of different members of it. There's also going to be something called a Oriskany Formation, which is very unusual. It is fossils trapped in sandstone. And then finally the Glen Erie Formation. So these are things that are going to be different from what we normally find. These layers are different than the ones that we've been digging at Schoharie, so it's very likely that we will find different fossils here.
Right now it's just silhouettes because of the light.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're driving into our first stop. We are going into Cobleskill Stone Products in Cobleskill. This is by special invitation. We can't, this is a place people normally can go in. Well, we got invited in here. We're driving in through the quarry now. This one has not yet been checked by paleontologists. There are reported fossils here. We're going to go take a look and see if it's worthwhile. The people at the quarry were very nice in putting these piles out for us. Just joking, of course. Obviously, this is the work that they do there. Breaking this up into aggregate or small pieces that get used for different things. But they're letting us go through it to find fossils. As you can see, we have a very big group today. And you can also see that it is a really beautiful area. So what I'll do is we'll start scouting around, and if we find anything good, we'll pull you in. It's our first little find, not much of a find yet, but we know there's fossils here. Nice little crinoid across here, and a little piece over here. I'm going to hold this for now, just in case there's not anything better. We'll see. Found a rock that is absolutely loaded with brachiopods. Unfortunately, it probably weighs 200 or 300 pounds, but I am tempted. I think I'm going to pull the car over here and load this guy up. Just lean it up against there and push.
Okay, so you want to stand it up again one more time?
Yeah.
Thank God they're not charging by the pound, huh?
No.
You got yourself a big one.
I've stopped going to the place where they charge by the pound.
I should hope so.
See if you can grab the other side now. I think it.
Oh, so here are what Mike, and I'm sorry, what's your name?
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
Mike, here's what Mike and Jim found. We have a Platycerus, which is a type of gastropod, and we have a brachiopod. I think it may be something called an atripod, but it's a brachiopod.
Well, part of it.
A little bit.
The part that doesn't have anything on it.
No, that's okay. I'm not looking.
Which is under 10 tons of rock. Katie found what you call a bubble. It's actually a Hindia, a sponge, and they're a bit unusual because they normally don't fossilize well. I'm going to try and get it out for her. There we go. So what I did was hit away from the fossil because you don't want, oh, you got a trilobite head on there too. So here's your Hindia sponge, absolutely, and here is a trilobite head. Katie, here is your fossil of the day so far.
And you're beating both your father and me.
Oh, wait till you see what I have in the car.
Put a clip of King of the Hill here. Just him saying propane or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
This piece has lots of crinoids in it. I'm kind of tempted to take it home. I don't see a complete one, but I see a lot of partially complete crinoids on it.
Is that better?
That's very nice. And here we see the striations going this way. The chamber's from a sort of a long view, and here we see the top view kind of sticking out over here. Very nice Favicites, weathered to really show what's going on inside there. So very nice.
Yeah.
A sample of the blue chert.
I am up on the hill. I keep tripping over stuff. I'm gonna try to get higher without falling. I don't think I'm gonna succeed. Definitely not in platforms. Hi, I'm the camera person. I don't think I'm gonna get up there. It looks so tiny from over here. It's kind of a forced perspective though. Oh, there's a tower back there. Let's see if I can get up there, but I definitely know I will not.
Yes, I do.
So it was in a boulder sitting up, and it was about covered to about here. So this part was sticking up, and it took about 20 minutes or so to basically destroy the boulder and then get close enough to this would just pop right out.
Probably this one.
Oh, okay, nice crinoid.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
I'm Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
I think Will found this one, but he's over by his car right now.
Oh, crinoid?
Yeah. And I don't know, this is a pretty cool find too.
Ooh, yes, that is. That is a very nice gastropod.
So I'm pretty pleased.
Want me in or out?
Oh, we'd rather you in it if you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Jim.
Jim. So Jim found an enormous, is it filming it?
Yeah, it's on.
Jim found an enormous crinoid. Looks like it's all together, probably museum quality. Now he just has to figure out how to get this half-ton rock into his car, so or truck.
Within the 10 minutes that were left here.
Our second stop is going to be the Schoharie Quarry. The Schoharie Quarry is a little bit different. The rocks are slightly newer, so we're talking now 300 and maybe 85 million years rather than 390 million years. So we're looking at some slightly more recent rock outcrops. We're going to see more abundant fossils, particularly in the uppermost member, which is going to be the Beecraft Formation. The Beecraft Formation is going to be made up of the Beecraft, as we say, New Scotland. The New Scotland Formation is the one that has those unusual round India sponges in it. Corkberg, and Coymans, and Manlius. The Manlius Formation is one that has many, many tiny little cephalopods known as denticulites. I'm hoping we'll find a nice piece of that I can show you.
Okay.
So Valerie found a really nice gastropod.
Yeah, this is something you don't want to stop on.
Oh, I guess you're on the wrong side of that. Sorry, don't worry about it, Katie.
I mean, I guess we'll get it.
Take home some plastic caps.
Looks like they're planning on taking that down, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. All right, so ladies and gents, I found a lingula. A lingula is special because it is the one inarticulate brachiopod. It doesn't have a shell that goes together. The other thing that's different about them is they're also made with aragonite. They're not the strong calcium carbonate that you see in other brachiopods. I always wanted a good sample of a lingula, and it was just sitting right on the ground here. Right now we're at the Howe Cave Museum of Mining and Geology. We're getting ready to go underground, about 90 feet underground in a cave.
Manlius, first off in the Schoharie Quarry, there's a set of mud tracks over there that we took out of there.
Towards it about 100 years ago. It's been closed for about 100 years. Until opened by the people who founded this museum. Originally, Howe Caverns was a walking tour, and this is where people came in 150. Ooh, looks like this wall is pushing inwards. This is where people would have come 150 years ago.
Allowing water to get down in here. The water will slowly dissolve the limestone and the dolomite that's in this cave system. And start making these openings. The second thing that really contributed to the cave forming at this location is right here, this surface right here is a fault surface. If you go right over here, you can really see the slip insides. When the rock moves against each other, it causes these parallel grooves here. And this rock here moved this direction here. So the rock that was on top moved that way, and the rock that was below moved this way. It was a result of compression. So you have that kind of motion it's called a thrust fault, and it's the type of motion you would have when there's two rocks pushing together, compressing.
Would the joint have occurred in the same episode that this organ slide developed?
This was believed to be about 20 million years later. There were two. There was the Acadian orogeny,
right,
and then the Alleghenian orogeny.
Okay.
Alleghenian's more related to the Appalachian, the formation of the Appalachian Mountains. So this probably this we believe is more related to the Alleghenian, so it was a little bit later. But what happens when you get a fault zone, the rock gets ground up a lot, makes it easier to erode.
Low ceiling.
No, well, it's my height.
What's this rock here?
I can see. Oh, look, another entrance.
Gets a little better on
It's the wood. That's another entrance.
That's the tunnel where
And Matthew got stuck in?
got stuck in. He
No.
crawled in there. About 20 feet in there, he got stuck. So here's that tiny cave of which Kay is referring. It's this little chute or little cave within the much larger cave that we're in. And many years ago, when I came here with my youngest son, Matthew, the person who was taking us through the cave said that there was a lake about 75 meters through that little chute, through that little cave. Well, my son said, "Oh, I want to see it." And he went diving right into that little cave. I was like, no, Matthew, come back. Don't go in there. And he kept going forward, as a 7 or 8 year old would do. The group was moving onwards. They were heading off, and there was no lighting in the place, only the lights that people carried. So it was very quickly getting pitch black. Like, Matthew, come back. And Matthew wasn't coming back. And all of a sudden I heard, "Help! Dad, I'm stuck! Help! Get me out of here! My leg is stuck!" It's like, oh no. So I climb in that tiny little hole, start going down there, finally caught up with Matthew, only maybe about 20 feet in or so. And what happened was his shoe was stuck. There was like this limey mud, and it pulled off his boot in there. So I pulled Matthew back, and this tunnel was so thin that I couldn't even crawl fully upwards. It was, I was like really squished in, but I managed to pull Matthew that 20 feet back and call for somebody to come because the rest of the group had moved on. And even though we were out of that little tunnel, we were in pitch blackness in the big tunnel. Well, somebody finally came back with a light, but then Matthew's boot was still in the tunnel. So I went back, crawled back in, and pulled his boot out of the limey muck. And we got his boot, which he would need to get out of the cave, and onward we went. Although about a minute and a half later, there was another little thing in the cave that Matthew started running off into. Like, "Matthew, come back!" But this time we caught him before he got himself into any trouble again.
On the elevated walkway, when this tunnel idea didn't help keep this cave dry, we put an elevated walkway there, but there also, you see some other hooks, metal stubs on the ceiling. The other thing you'll notice here is on the ceiling here, you see the joints, And there's a cream-colored calcite being redeposited here. In Lester Howe's day, this cave had a lot of stalactites hanging from the ceiling. A lot of those have fallen down the blasting. You see that tumbled rock there? That used to be cave until the cement company blasted right through there. So a lot of the stalactites were knocked off. People came in and took them as souvenirs. If you look at a few places here, they're only about, half an inch long here. So in about 100 years, about a half inch of stalactite has formed. So it does take a while. One of my favorite jokes is, kids, I take a lot of kids in here and they'll say, what's that? What's that hitting me on my hard hat? What is that? And I said, well, it's water coming down through the ground. And then I'll say, well, of course, Lester Howe did keep cows up there too. Kids go, oh! And the most squeamish one is always the guys. When you get guys on the ground, their voices get high-pitched and everything. All right, if you want to follow me up here, there's kind of some crude steps here, but watch out. We have a great combination of slippery clay and sharp rock.
Well, you're welcome.
So be very careful, kid. You don't have to film it, it's going to give you a problem. Slippery rocks and muddy clay.
Over here onto my right, and to your left, there's a flat slab over there. And you figure that slab weighs about 2 tons. If you're strong enough to lift the flat slab, underneath it, you'll see a rusty angle iron sticking out of it. Underneath that flat slab, there's a grate. And if you have hips that are about 30 inches in size,
Oh no, that's me.
you can slither down through the grate and fall down into the underground mine.
No, thank you.
So the
That is my
underground mine is about 15
pants
feet
and
below
mans, no
that,
thank you.
gravel rock. Let me see if there are any bats in here today. Sometimes we get bats right here. Okay. Let's see, you guys. That big block there we call Aphrodite's ice block. We don't let people go up there. I don't think it's stable. So, all right.
This hard hats won't protect us from that.
Oops.